What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, per the New York Post, Skip Bayless is leaving FS1 Undisputed, FS1 in general, this summer. His last show will be later on this summer. Skip Bayless is out from FS1, the network. Yeah, this is no surprise to me at all. At all. The ratings I know were terrible. They were down. Nobody I know was really watching FS1 Undisputed. They brought Paul Pierce in to try to save the show, and he helped a little bit. He did help. He brought some great some great banter to the show. But Keyshawn and Skip Bayless's chemistry was not there at all. When it was just Key and Skip, their chemistry was nowhere near the same chemistry as Shannon Sharpe's and Skip Bayless. And it just didn't have the same draw, the same energy. I don't have the same enthusiasm trying to watch FS1 Undisputed as I had before when it was Skip and Shannon. Seriously, that enthusiasm was gone. But this is what happens when you you allow your pride to disrespect a co-host who helped you have an outstanding show for years. Like, contrary to popular belief, Shannon Sharpe didn't just make FS1 Undisputed. Skip Bayless didn't just make FS1 Undisputed. It was their chemistry together that made that show what it was. Now, Shannon was a humongous draw because we saw how funny he was, with all the funny anecdotes he had, with, the analogies that he would use and the sayings he would use from his grandmama and his granddaddy and, his playing experience in the NFL. It was all, again, his banter was outstanding. It was gold. He had sayings that you would hear our uncles in the black families use. Our uncles at the cookout, uncles at the barbecue would say. Shannon would say that. And so it made it, his personality made the show like even more intriguing, but their chemistry together, Skip and Shannon, was gold. But see, Skip let his pride and his ego get in the way. He didn't want to lose that debate, about Tom Brady with Shannon Sharpe. And he, again, started to belittle Shannon in favor of Tom Brady because he loves Tom Brady, but he didn't really want to lose them debates against Shannon. He didn't like Shannon saying certain things about Tom Brady, and it led to his pride, I guess, was so rocked by him criticizing Tom Brady. It allowed him to disrespect the man across from him who had helped build that show into what it was. And so I believe that they ousted Shannon Sharpe due to Skip saying, "Hey, yo, I can't work across from him anymore." When, Shannon started to buck back and snap back. When Shannon was gone from the DeMar Hamlin situation, he wasn't on the show. When Shannon started to check him about, interrupting him after, Skip had led with disrespect against Shannon, Stephen A. Smith called it. He said, "I knew you wasn't going to be there long." He said, "The way I know that man, the way Stephen A. Smith knows Skip Bayless, he listen, I read between the lines." He's saying, look, Skip was going to get you up out of there because Skip was not going to be able to sit across from you after you had already checked him about cutting you off and not letting you speak, and the way that you responded, the way you responded to his disrespect. Skip was not going to allow that. He was going to have to get you up out of there because it hurt his pride, it hurt his ego, and he felt like you had to be removed. And I believe Skip went to the network and told them, "Hey, man, we got to figure something out. I can't keep doing this. It's getting out of hand with Shannon. Shannon coming at me disrespectfully," even though Skip was leading with the disrespect. And I believe, because Skip is the one that got that show on there and he's the one who vouched for Shannon Sharpe to be there, he had the bigger weight on the show. It was his show, Skip and Shannon. Skip's name was first. So Skip was the one that said, "Yo, Shannon got to go." And it made it seem like it was amicable. It was a mutual thing. Shannon like, "Yo," I don't think Shannon wanted to go, but he knew his time was done. He couldn't sit across from Skip the way Skip was coming at him. And they were able to strike a deal where he could take Club Shay Shay with him. I don't know what the payout was or whatever, but he ended that situation earlier than what he was supposed to because I believe Skip could not, his pride couldn't take Shannon checking him for disrespecting him like that, right? And so he let pride get in the way of a beautiful thing. Because Skip and them Raiders was going to stay high with all the stuff that's happened in sports over the past year. Can you imagine some of those debates that Skip and Shannon could have had about sports and LeBron James and Bronny and, and all the NBA Finals and the Boston Celtics and the, in football, all of this conversations they could have had surrounding the Super Bowl, Pat Mahomes, all these different moments, Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. I could like, man, there was some great moments that they could have, like the show would have been still popping if Shannon was still on there with him. Show would have been still popping, but Skip allowed his ego and pride to get the best of him, trying to out Shannon because he didn't want to disrespect Shannon first, and Shannon responded with like, yo, I'm not having it. After that, Shannon was not having it. He was on a short leash with Shannon. Skip was on a short leash with Shannon. After he disrespected Shannon like that publicly and trying to poo-poo his career, you had to retire because you wasn't good enough to stay around and all that. Like, oh, it was over with. It was over with. And so, yeah, Skip like, oh, you gotta go. And now, struggling to get them ratings. They was trying to bring in everybody they could. Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, Rachel Nichols, Paul Pierce, Keyshawn Johnson, bringing Lil Wayne on the show. The moment they start bringing on Drewski and Bubba Dub, all these Facebook and Instagram comedians, no disrespect to them, because they got to hustle, they got a lane, and they making a lot more money than I could ever imagine right now, right? They doing it. But that just let me know they were pulling at straws to try to keep the show relevant, to try to keep the show popping, and try to keep the show entertaining. Let's bring as many social media comedians and social media influencers on the show to try to drive in a younger demographic to keep us, I guess, afloat. And it couldn't really keep them afloat like that. Because, like, even though Wayne, people love Wayne, he's iconic for his rap career, Wayne is not entertaining to listen to regarding sports. He be half dead talking, Skip it, Skip it, LeBron in there. Like, hey, man, what the fuck is Weezy, baby. Skip. Nah, listen, sounding like a corpse on the show. Skip it. I mean, I think I trade AD and then we try to go forth and we get the. Hey, no, Wayne, hell no. No, it's not going to work here, brother. It's not going to work. Not going to be able to do it, okay? And so, yeah, it's just, he could never find a rhythm on that show. I'm sure they were going to meetings all the time, trying to regroup, trying to figure something out. He could never bring it together. Even Shannon has found success at ESPN only doing 2 days a week. He got Club Shay Shay, Nightcap off the chain, off the charts. He killing it. Since he left Skip, he's skyrocketed in popularity. Like, he's got all different type of women that don't even watch sports on his podcast, watching it, looking forward to him and Chad Johnson talk, Ocho Cinco. Like, he's been interviewed here, there, everywhere. People are requesting him on their platforms to interview. Like, his star power has, what's the word I'm looking for? It's amplified. It has expanded in a major way since the end of FS1 Undisputed, to where he's doing well. Skip podcast and Skip Bayless show ain't doing them numbers close to the numbers of Club Shay Shay or Nightcap. It ain't even doing better than Stephen A. Smith show. And so I think Skip has found he's had a hard time. He needs somebody like Shannon across from him because he's had a hard time relating to the younger demographic and getting across to the younger demographic the way Stephen A. Smith has. Even though he's an older gentleman, he still knows a way to captivate those audiences in a way that Skip has not figured out how to do, even though he's the OG of the sports debate shows. I gotta give Skip his credit. Skip was the first one doing those sports debate shows from the Cold Pizza days when he had Woody Page on there, the 2 Live Stews he would have on there, Charo coming on there. I was watching them shows, right, when he was doing Cold Pizza. I saw him killing LeBron early in LeBron's career when he was doing Cold Pizza and all of that. So, but he could never find his footing. He can't find his footing with Gen Z and the other generations, in my generation, my age group, the way Shannon and Stephen A. Smith can, and I think he would have been A-okay had he not let his pride and his ego and his love for Tom Brady lead to him disrespecting Shannon in a major way, and then lead to him getting Shannon ousted out of the network. Because Skip ousted that man. I believe Skip got that man removed from the show after Shannon was letting it be known. I'm not tolerating that disrespect. I'm not letting you cut me off, all of that. And Skip couldn't take that. he felt like, oh, he trying to embarrass me on TV, even though Skip was the one trying to embarrass Shannon on TV during a debate, trying to belittle Shannon's career, man. So, yeah, man, it's not shocking. It's not surprising. I don't know what's going to be next with Skip. Is Skip going to go to ESPN? Is he going to come back over there? I don't know what's going to happen. But we shall see, because even though Shannon has been vocal about how he didn't like that disrespect, how it pissed him off so bad, he still is always appreciative of Skip vouching for him and helping to get him hired in that position on FS1 Undisputed, because Skip told the network he wanted Shannon Sharpe and Shannon Sharpe only. And he says he's always grateful for that and all that. So I don't know if amends could be made at this point where he could possibly come on with Skip. I mean, with Shannon and Stephen A. If Skip could come to ESPN and make some magic happen, because people would love to see that. As much as people don't like Skip Bayless and they hated the way he treated Shannon Sharpe during them moments, people would live to see them on TV. People would buy that and watch that shit, and they would eat it up to see them sitting across from each other once again, and then sitting with Stephen A. Smith debating some of these hot topics that we got going on right now. You know, tell me if I'm lying. Y'all know a lot of people would love to still see that. So, yeah, man, but it's not shocking that he's leaving FS1, because I believe they like, yo, this shit ain't working. This ain't it. We got to end this. They got to figure it out over there at FS1, because it's not working. And Skip, I believe, has been frustrated terribly due to the fact that the ratings are tanking, and none of the changes they've been making is not profound enough to get the ball rolling, to get them back on par, on core with ESPN First Take. It's not working, and I believe it's frustrating Skip that he's not at the top of the ratings, that his show is doing bad, and people are saying, hey, you're not the same without Shannon Sharpe. I think it's bothering him, and he's like, yo, I got to walk away from this shit before it be a firestorm, and I don't want my name attached to it anymore. Even though it is, Skip, it's still on you. Machiavelli Mills TV, peace.